Hi, welcome to Vitality Vibe. Today we're going to go through the Sun Salutations. In my opinion, Sun Salutations are like the holy grail of yoga because they move the body in lots of different ways. Okay, so just roll out your mat, hop on board, and we'll get started. Okay, this one we're going to start in a standing position. So take your time getting back up. And we're going to make our way to the top of the mat because we want to have all this space behind us to step back into. Okay, so when we come to the top of our mat, we can either bring the big toes together or we can have the feet hip distance apart. So for me, I like hip distance. It suits my back better. And for most people with lower back issues, hip distance is nicer. But you can play around with this and see how you feel. Alrighty, so to begin with, let's take a nice big inhale as we bring the arms all the way up overhead and we can look up towards our fingertips. As we exhale, we'll turn the palms outwards and we're going to fold over the legs. So we can put a little bend into the knees so that we're not aggravating the hamstrings too much as we fold down. Bend the knees as much as you need to here to get your fingertips to the floor. And then we're going to lift this right foot and step it as far back as we can. Nice big long runner's lunge. And then we could pop this right knee to the floor. And then inhaling, both arms come up. And as we exhale, we'll try to relax the shoulders and just sink into that knee a little bit more. That's it. Okay, so beautiful stretch here for the hip flexors and on up into the psoas as well. And our hip flexors get super tight because, well, most of us sit a lot, or we run a lot, or we do both of those things a lot. Okay, so it's super important to get these hip flexors lengthened. We'll take one more breath here. And then as we exhale, let's pop the hands to the floor. And we're gonna step this left foot back. All right, so you're onto hands and knees. And then make our way into plank. Okay, so for your plank, it's really important that you that you don't collapse into your lower back. Okay, so we're going to stretch the right leg out nice and long and then get really active with this leg. So what I mean by that is you push the back of your knee up towards the ceiling and you press out through the heel and then draw the belly button in, lift the other leg, stretch it out. All right, so now we've got this nice long plank. Shoulders are over our wrists and I always say Goldilocks with your bum. Okay, it's not too high, it's not too low. It's just right, it's in the middle. Okay, from here, let's press the ground away, draw the belly button in tight. And then as we exhale, we'll pop the knees down. And this is the one wee bit where people tend to get stuck. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to send your bum up, bring your weight forwards, keep the elbows in as you lower down onto your chin. And then you're going to press forwards, use the triceps to slide on forwards, untuck the toes, so we're on the tops of our feet. And we rise into what's called our cobra. All right, so when I'm taking cobra, I'm not so much pushing into my hands. As you can see, there's not much weight in my hands, but I'm using the lower back. And from here, we move into downward dog. Okay, so downward dog is where we tuck the toes under and we press into those hands, lifting the bum up nice and high, and then sinking the weight down into our heels. Now, the heels may not come to the floor just today, all right? It took me, I would say, a good year for the heels to come to the floor. So don't worry about that, but you're just sending that intention there. So you're pressing into your hands and sending as much of the weight back into your feet as you can. Try not to hold your breath here, but keep breathing. We're going to take 3 breaths here. 1. 2, 3. Alrighty, well done. Shift the weight into your left foot. Stretch the right leg up to the sky. So we're now into this 3-legged dog. And then we're going to step this right foot on through to the top of the mat between your hands. All right, so if you've done lots of yoga before, you'll know what I'm talking about. Go ahead and step it up. If you're new to the practice, you'll probably find that when you step, you get a bit stuck, okay? And that's okay. You just reach back with your right hand, get that right ankle and lift and keep lifting until you get it all the way to the top. All right, and sometimes when we try to do that, where we grab the foot and we try to lift, it just doesn't go anywhere, okay? If you get to that place and you're a wee bit stuck, what you're gonna do is you're gonna drop into your left knee and then pick up your hands. So you've got all this space now in front to step on through. All right, and then you're left with your right ankle over your, underneath your right knee. And then the left foot, we'll kick that up and we come into this standing forward fold at the top of the mat. So we drop the chin in, drop the head down. And if it's okay with the hamstrings, you can have the legs straight. If that's not so good for your hamstrings, just keep a wee soft bend in your knees. And then we're going to rise back up. So we're going to inhale, sweep the arms all the way out, all the way up. Take a full body stretch where we look to the fingertips. And then as we exhale, we're going to come back down and do the same on the left side. So turn those palms outwards for me. This helps us to open up the shoulders as we fold over the legs, keeping a soft bend in the knees just so the hamstrings aren't pulling too hard on the low back. And then we're going to bend the knees as much as we need to get your hands to the floor. We're going to step the left foot all the way back. Okay, big long step here, and then drop the left knee down. So when you step back with that left foot, you want to make sure that the right knee and ankle are in a straight line. Okay, sometimes what happens is people don't step back far enough and then they're here and the knee is coming past the ankle. So just make sure you've got a good big long step with that left foot so that your right knee and ankle can have a nice straight line. All right, inhale, we'll take the arms all the way up. And as we exhale, we'll relax the shoulders and see can we sink into that left hip flexor a little bit more. That's it, breathe. And relax. And then we're going to take those hands all the way down onto the ground. And again, we'll come back into that hands and knees position to begin with. Okay, so normally we would just step straight into plank. All right, but I'm just breaking it down a little bit in this video. So step in the left leg back and make that super active. Okay, so we're pressing the back of the knee up towards the ceiling and we're pressing into the ball of the foot. Draw the belly button in. And then we'll pick up that right leg and stretch it out as well. So shoulders over wrists. And remember Goldilocks with your bum. Okay, it's not up high, it's not down low, it's just right. And then take a nice big inhale, press the ground away. And exhale as we pop down onto the knees. Now your bum goes up into the air. Your weight comes a little bit forwards. We try to keep the elbows in, pointing back behind us as we bring the chest and the chin close to the floor. And then we inhale, push on forwards, untuck the toes, draw the shoulders back, elbows in, come to cobra. And then making our way to our downward facing dog, tuck the toes under, lift that bum up, and sink the weight down into your heels. So again, we'll hang out here for 3 nice full deep breaths. The tendency in downward dog is for the weight to come forwards into your hands. So do your best to push into the hands, melt your heart back towards your legs, draw the belly button in, soften the shoulder blades, roll the shoulders away from the ears. Alrighty, draw the belly button in nice and tight so we can stretch the left leg up to the sky. And then look where you want to go. You're trying to get it up there between your hands. Step it as far as you can. If you get stuck, just reach back with your hand and lift all the way up to the top. So you want to be left with your knee and your ankle in a straight line. And then a big kick into that right foot brings you to the top of your mat where you can fold in. So remember, if your hamstrings are happy, straight legs, otherwise little bend in your knees. And then we can inhale, bring the arms all the way out, all the way up, full body stretch. And then exhale, hands to heart. All right, folks, so that is 1 round. When you do the right leg followed by the left leg, that's 1 round. And you could try to build up to 8 rounds as your warm up. And it's such a brilliant way to start the day. I say to people, start with 3 rounds and then build it up to 8. And it just frees up the whole body and gets you ready for the day ahead. Alrighty, thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me. Remember, if we can just do one thing daily that our future selves will thank us for. All right, have a great day.